watching Glitter Gel Pen.
A lifelong, one-sided conversation of us consuming every pop culture podcast ever. Glitter Gel Pen has joined the chat.
Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Glitter Gel Pen.
Episode 30. I'm Jill.
And I'm Melissa.
Okay, and before we get started, if you would like Justin Bieber to write a really sweet, crazy caption about you, then hit the subscribe button.
I would love that.
Might not be so sweet, though.
So there's been some conversation about Eugenia Cooney. Jeffree Star's freaking out on TikTok about it. Do you know the lore of Eugenia Cooney?
Oh, yeah.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you're a busy mom like me, you know how hard it is to find time for yourself, let alone take care of your mental health. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting, and sometimes you just need someone to talk to without any shame, fear, or judgment. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp makes it so much easier. While therapy can be costly and a big reason why some people don't get the help that they need, there are affordable options available when you use a platform such as BetterHelp. It's an online platform that connects you with licensed therapists. I filled out a quick questionnaire about my mental health history, and BetterHelp matched me with a therapist in less than 24 hours. They carefully vet their therapists, and their customer support team is always there if you have any questions. And if you decide that your first therapist isn't right for you, you can switch easily with no awkwardness or stress. I love how flexible it is and that you can get therapy from the comfort of your own home. You can message your therapist at any time. There's a built-in journal for personal reflection, and they even offer group sessions on a variety of topics. Plus, with over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5-star rating on Trustpilot, it's a service you can trust. If you're ready to take the first step, go to betterhelp.com/glittergelpen or click the link in our description to get 10% off your first month.
I know who she is. I watched the Shane video of her. I've seen her recently, and I don't know if we're going to cover it or not today, but I've seen recently where she was on live and took a sip of water and was like almost throwing it up and that kind of thing.
Yep. So I put in there, I guess Jeffree Star and Eugenia are close friends. I really didn't know that until this stuff, but there's a couple of TikToks here, and it's kind of showing what's happening with her, and it's been this ongoing conversation. Like, I kind of feel weird like watching it and trying to speculate about it, but
with Eugenia Cooney, you literally cannot deny that she has an ED.
Yeah.
Like, it's undeniable.
Yeah, and it's, I guess there could be other factors involved, but I feel like she kind of like opened up about it in a way with Shane's stuff and addressed it, but without speaking about it at the same time, because that's what Shane was like known for, is like giving the scoop without saying a bit of information.
Yeah.
But it's the what is most concerning to me about the recent stuff is the amount of like people that are claiming to be like licensed health professionals commenting, being like, what she's experiencing is a cardiac yawn, and it's like one of the major signs of like heart failure. Again, like, we don't know if those people are real doctors or whatever, but there was also a commenter on one of these videos that said that they lived in Eugenia's town, and it's like a known thing that she is like deathly ill, and that there are ambulances at her house like every other week, and that they always are thinking like, this is it, something's happened. And the issue is like the ongoing problem that her mom won't do anything to help her because they're making money.
Yeah, people compare it to Dee Dee Blanchard, Gypsy Rose.
It's so sad because I actually met Eugenia way back. It had to be like 2013, 2012, like Playlist Live. And she is the nicest person. And you can see it like in her videos. Like, whenever I was watching these, it almost made me cry watching them, because I'm like, the girl is so sweet and people are mean to her, and we don't want to send like anything negative. I don't even think it's right that people are commenting telling her that she has a problem. Like, that's not how that's addressed. I just wish there were people around her that were there to help her.
She does get a lot of backlash, though, for people saying that like she knows what she's doing. Like, And I guess she does, but I don't think she's sitting there promoting EDs, you know?
I don't think she has ill intent by the way that I don't think that the way she treats her body or whatever is going on, like, I don't think her doing that is maliciously intended to promote that. I think that's just a personal issue she has. And she also has this online persona and community of people that, like, love her. Mm-hmm. But it's like, Jeffree's came out and said, you know, she's not okay. There's obviously something wrong. And that's the first time he's ever said that. He's always deflected and pretended like she's okay. I put these 2 videos on here if we just want to watch them and discuss it at all.
Okay.
People love tearing others down, even when they're at their worst. Isn't that such a weird thing we do in society? Not, I don't do that, but as a whole, when someone is suffering, who thought it would be a good idea to dissect it, make up things, create untruthful, hurtful things? I'm just confused by the world lately. Azumi, you don't actually care about her, so that's why I gave you that bland response. It's a given things aren't okay. It's a given. But you don't care, so you don't get a real answer. How about that? You don't really care about my friend. Help her! You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. You don't know the steps that I've taken, the phone calls I've had, the things that I'm doing. You have no idea, because it's not your business. How about that? When I said she was okay yesterday, it was so you would just shut up. Clearly, she's not okay. And I love her immensely, and I will be here for her, and I am here for her. You have no idea what she's going through. My friend is not doing well. So have a little compassion for her. Stop being mean. Is it so hard? I guess so. I guess having empathy, sympathy, and compassion for another human being is a little tricky for some of y'all. Got it. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. You can tell you were never hugged as a baby. You can tell some of y'all never got hugged as children. The way that you talk to me and the way that y'all act towards Eugenia, you can tell some of y'all were never loved as a child. It's awful. And the trauma that you carry, you're exuding towards me, and you're exuding towards her. You don't really care about us. You don't care about her. You don't care about her well-being. You don't have any compassion for mental health. You're just like them. And that's scary. Wicked Torch, you think she would want to speak to you? Because why? Who the fuck are you? I tried to speak with her. You're a stranger. If I was her, I would run far away from you because you're not trustworthy. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? She's a human being with feelings, yes. And she also doesn't owe anyone an explanation about her mental health. She doesn't owe y'all a damn thing. Who made y'all God? Who made y'all? Who tricked y'all into thinking anyone owes you an explanation? Me, her, anyone.
Okay, so we know that I'm the #1 Jeffree Star hater. Like, sip the haterade.
Yeah.
Indulge in the haterade for Jeffree Star. But this is the one time that I agree with Jeffree Star. Mm-hmm. I said it. You know, I think that obviously when you're online and people are asking, if we were big and somebody was like, is Alyssa okay? She seems blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, yeah, like she's doing good. You know, whatever. Like, I'm not going to spill your business on my live.
Yeah.
So then of course he's going to say that she's fine to get everybody to shut up. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we don't know what he's communicating with her behind the scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he is there for her, but he's not using that for clout because I think he truly does realize that this is a mental issue. Like, an ED is a serious thing, and he's not going to be like using that as a way, you know, to get clout on social media.
I just wish there's something you could do to help, but it's also from what it seemed like in like the past, because if you like are really like from the OG like YouTube days, there was a girl named Jacqueline that was best friends with Eugenia for a while. She famously dated Tobuscus. Do you remember these YouTubers?
Yeah, I know Tobuscus.
Okay,
for sure.
So she dated him and she like accused him of doing things. That was her whole lore. But Jacqueline came out and said that she basically couldn't stand by and be her friend and allow this to happen anymore. So she was like, if she's not going to get help, like, I can't be around anymore. And it kind of seems like this pattern of people that step in and try to intervene or improve or help or whatever, they get exiled from her life by her and her mother. and her mother plays a part in it too. It's an interesting, like, the whole, like, dynamic of it, but it's so sad.
Yeah. I also saw a video of her and her mom at Disney, and they were trying a drink, and she pretended to drink the drink from the straw, and, like, her mom gave her a look and a nod, like, when she can be done, like, drinking the drink and whatever.
Hey. Cheers. Make a wish.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, you guys make great drinks. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course.
And everybody's like, the way that she looks at her mom for approval tells me something, you know?
Yeah. And in the other TikTok, we don't have to watch it if you don't want to. We could just put it in the video.
So yeah, you guys, they got a flash sale going on. Yeah, everyone send a rose. All right. I don't know, you guys, I'm not feeling that great today. I think I might get off. I'm just kind of like letting like stress get to me. All right, I'm gonna get off for now.
But it's that same live where she had to get off because she said she wasn't feeling well. But you can see, these were the videos that I was like having a hard time even watching. Like, you can see that she can barely even zip her makeup bag closed because she's so weak. And maybe she has another health condition that we don't know about, like we don't know. But it's just, I hope so badly that like nothing happens from this scenario. Like, I hope it's just something that is being misinterpreted or something, but like,
at some point though, if her mom wasn't doing what we all think that her mom's doing and enabling this because it makes money and gets clicks, then at some point wouldn't you like forcibly put your child in rehab
or something to help?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like crazy to me, and it is so sad because in that live that you're talking about, I saw the comments on it that, you know, she took a sip of water and then soon after, that's when she ends the live, when she's kind of like seeming like she needs to throw up. And they're like, when your body starts rejecting water, that's when you know your time is coming.
Yeah. And there was someone else discussing it and they were like, she doesn't drink water like on camera. That's like not her thing that she does. So like the fact that she was even doing it while on video at all was weird to them as someone who watched her all the time. I'm not sure. Like, I really don't. I've never kept up with her too much because honestly, it just makes me sad to watch it. But whenever Shane did his documentary on her, if I remember correctly, it was after she got out of a rehabilitation center.
She was looking really healthy, really good. And
she,
so it makes me sad to see that she like relapsed, I guess is what you would call it.
Yeah. And it seemed like her mom allowed her to go into a facility and get help or whatever at that time, but it does require you taking a break from content and taking a break from whatever like you're doing for a job to get the help. But it's like she's made the money, like she's built the career, like she has fans. I know she does because it's like that like very niche like streamer, gamer. I don't even know what the genre is. But
I think it kind of built around like streaming of being a gamer girl, and now she just has people who like her and watch her for her, and so she's kind of just a streamer where you just get on and they talk and whatever. Yeah, but it is sad, and I really hope that she gets the help that she needs because these people who are criticizing her and nitpicking everything she does in a negative way, I just feel like they'll be thinking differently if things don't turn out well, you know?
Yeah, or they'll have the mindset of I told you so kind of thing, which it's like the way to help her isn't to berate her and be mean to her like in the comment section. The thing is, it has to be internal too. It can't be someone on the internet telling you and then it's going to get through to the other person or whatever.
I mean, at this point, with the way she is, it's a hard and long process to get better, you know? I mean, her body wants to reject water. So it's like she can't just one day pick up and decide she wants to eat 3 pieces of pizza. You know, like she has your body cannot do that. It's going to get sick.
Yeah.
Like she needs actual help and rehabilitation, like at a facility for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't know about this next topic that we're going to talk about.
I first heard about it from Trisha. I don't know who Ronnie Radky really is other than a musician. I guess he has like a big following. He's apparently catfished Trisha in the past.
What?
Or she was catfished by someone. But what blew my mind is Tommy Lee is married to Brittany Ferlin, who, if you are a canceled fan, you may remember Brittany from the controversy around Brooke. Trisha reminded me of all this, and I was like, wait a minute. Why would Brooke lie about that? Brooke came out on something and said that she kissed Tommy Lee, the lead singer of Motley Crue. Is he the lead singer? He's Motley Crue, whatever.
I don't know. Honest to God, the only way that I know who Tommy Lee is from that Gucci Mane song where he's like Tommy Lee and Pamela, I'm getting on the camera, you know, like.
The way you can censor your mouth as if you're a sound machine is crazy to me. Yeah, well, I'm not like a big Tommy Lee fan, but I guess he's just like classic. And I'm a fan of Pamela Anderson and just like what she was. So like he's iconic in that sense to me, but that's about it.
Yeah, that was the only way I knew who he was. So
yeah, well, Brooke Schofield, I don't know how she's related to these people. She came out and said that her and Tommy Lee kissed at Coachella. Well,
this year?
It was maybe a year or two ago.
Not this year because they didn't go.
It wasn't this year. But it was last year or the year before. And the one night Brittany wasn't with him was the night that Brooke allegedly kissed Tommy Lee. And Brittany took this very, very badly and was like, no, he didn't, or whatever. Brooke was just like, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. So she kind of just was like, yeah, that didn't happen. I don't know why in the world she would make up the most random thing about a guy who's not super relevant anymore.
No.
But whatever. So Brittany Ferlin gets caught cheating on Tommy Lee with Ronnie Radky, apparently. But Brittany went to Ronnie's home and realized she messaged him and was like, I'm outside or whatever. I guess he never came out. He never had responded to her Instagram messages, but they were talking on some other form. I want to say it was Snapchat. Well, Tommy Lee found out somehow, or Brittany told him. We don't really know. But Tommy Lee reaches out to Ronnie Radky and says, yo, you're messing with my wife. And he's like, no, I'm not.
Oh.
And come to find out that Brittany Ferlin was catfished by a fake Ronnie Radky.
How embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. And, like, to be cheating.
Yeah, like, you were cheating, and it wasn't even a real person. That's insane.
And not to justify cheating, but Tommy Lee has cheated on her a lot. So,
Yeah.
like, I see no issue with her doing it because it's like, if it's okay for him to do it and y'all are expected to still be together, like, I look at it that way.
Yeah.
But that's how they discovered it, because Tommy Lee called Ronnie out. Ronnie was like, no, man, like, I'm seriously not. Some people are still like arguing that Ronnie is lying or whatever. I agree, because I think that it really wasn't him, because Trisha has personal experience that Ronnie Radky is known for having a lot of fake catfish accounts. And he's like famous enough that you would think it could be him, but also like, why would someone?
It's not like Justin Bieber, and they're like, hey, want to hang out? And you're like, Justin Bieber would never be talking to me.
Yeah, it's like, why would someone pretend to be Ronnie Radky?
Yeah.
But they do, apparently. So I just kind of thought that was interesting, and especially for Brittany to have been like so defensive of Tommy Lee or whatever about the Brooke scenario. And that's just something, I'm just bringing her up. There's multiple scenarios, but that's just one that's like relevant to our audience. But
that is actually so like diabolical. That's like that would be so embarrassing to cheat on somebody and it turn out to be a catfish.
Yeah.
And not even be the real person.
My thought is, say Tommy Lee is a saint and he's never cheated and he's like a great husband, boyfriend, whatever. What would your reaction be if you found out that like your significant other was cheating on you with a catfish?
I would laugh. I would eat it up. I would
Yeah.
never let him live it down. I would tell all my friends and family, even after we were broken up. I would pin it on my walls. I don't know.
Just have
That
it
would be
right
like my
up
new fun fact. anytime I had to do anything, I'd be like, fun fact, my ex cheated on me with a catfish. I would make a YouTube video about it, TikTok, all of it. It would be great.
I just want to know who's behind the Ronnie Radky account. You're welcome on this podcast.
Yes.
Anytime.
Reveal yourself, please.
Are you caught up on Kayla Malec, James Charles, Evan Johnson?
Nope. Last I heard of that was what we talked about. And then I saw that there were updates, but I didn't check into it.
Okay, so since we recorded last, because we haven't done a Hot Topics in 2 weeks, Kayla's came out and basically responded to James, and she just called him out. She was like, he had been messaging Kayla every time she posted with Evan, swiping up on her stories and being like, who is that guy? Oh my God, he's so hot, on 3 or 4 different occasions. Well, then Kayla and Evan were breaking up. They were still on a trip together, like during the breakup, whenever a bunch of drama between them happened. And Kayla realized that Evan was DMing or snapping with James, and they were like sending selfies. Evan was inviting James to Hawaii. James was like, why should I come to Hawaii, with the kissy face, like selfie, and just being like very flirty. And, James flew him out as a friend to give him advice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Even though James couldn't hold back from messaging Kayla about how hot he was every time he saw him. And I still think that the way that James came out after Evan was locked up and spoke out at that point says a lot about James. But Kayla did call him out for the fact of, you released these screenshots, but where are all your screenshots of the messages of you hitting on my boyfriend before we were broken up? And where are the messages between you and Evan? Because you've shown messages with everyone else but him. Mm-hmm. But the issue is that Kayla told James she was going to do a 30-part series on Evan. And then Evan immediately, this is what Kayla revealed, that the next day, her and Evan talked on the phone. It was the last time they spoke. And Evan verbatim said, are you still going to do that 30-part series about me? And Kayla had only told James about that 30-part series. So James immediately flipped the information that Kayla gave and used it as a way to get closer to Evan. Mm-hmm. And Oscar on Just Trish pointed out, he was like, in a situation where Kayla was being abused, that could have been very dangerous because he had already almost killed her. Mm-hmm. And if he would have reacted in a way to protect himself, to silence Kayla, that would have been completely on James.
Again, though, we do know from at least the screenshots that she never actually told James that he abused her.
She did show in the text messages, she said the word abused. She said, it's the worst things a person could do to someone. He abused me. She said it. She definitely said it because that was left out of James's part of the story.
Oh, okay. So he omitted that information.
Yeah. Okay. And it's weird. Well, Evan Johnson has called in from jail.
Oh, God. This gets so ridiculous. This is honestly, so ridiculous.
After this week, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I'm so done. But Evan has joined a podcast from jail.
From jail.
He said that he wasn't allowed to post on his own platforms defending himself, but he can, I guess, go through other people. That's stupid.
So weird.
He is still claiming to not be guilty while he's in jail.
You're sitting in jail.
He's claiming
I think everybody would say otherwise, Evan.
Yeah. He's claiming he was advised to plead guilty due to the evidence against him, but he was only able to be on the call for 13 minutes. So there wasn't much said, but Evan said that James had been DMing him since he was 16.
Okay, believable.
Believable, but it doesn't line up with the fact that James didn't know who Evan was until Kayla.
Okay.
So Evan is a manipulative liar no matter what.
Yeah. So honestly, in this situation, like, I don't know who to believe because both of them,
James and
are
Evan,
liars.
Yes.
So
he did say that briefly whenever he mentioned the James scenario, that James's advice that he was giving him was to deal with not being guilty of whatever happened and being dragged online, because Evan's narrative, the only thing he cares about pushing is the fact that he didn't do this, because like when he gets out of jail in a year and a half, which really isn't that long. It's a long in the internet world, but he's going to be free in less than 2 years.
Ugh, I hate that.
I know. So I think he's just trying to keep his name as clear as he possibly could. And his whole argument was just that James was trying to help him and give him advice or whatever. I think James Charles is gross.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
I think he used getting an inside scoop from Kayla
as a way to like coerce Evan and
to get
probably,
close to him.
Yeah, and he probably, I still stand by. I think that the nugget of truth that was in James's video the last time we talked was that they did not end up sleeping together or anything. But I don't think that means that James didn't try.
Yeah.
And so I think that it was all a way to like coerce Evan into getting close to him and then hopefully persuading him to do that.
Because Evan even mentioned that he looked at James like a mentor in that scenario. But the gross part to me that I can't get over is James got that information from Kayla. He was friends with Kayla to some extent. He wasn't friends with Evan at all. He didn't know him until after this, until, God, that beeping.
It's like we're literally those YouTubers right now when they're like, they're doing construction outside of my house right now. Hope you don't hear it.
Yeah.
That's us right now.
I doubt it's coming through, but I don't know. But the thing to me is James uses this information from Kayla to use it to get close to Evan, to fly him out, to give him advice and be there for him. A person you don't know and a person that you do know just told you that she was abused and the worst possible things a person can do to someone he did to her. But you believe him and you're flying him out and being there for him. For what? That's what I don't understand. And it's someone that you are attracted to. You've made that very known. And
this is the one time that I wish we were in this situation with another straight man.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that, because then James wouldn't be going to Evan trying to see his side of things and help him out.
Yeah.
Like, he's only doing that because he wants Evan.
Yeah.
And so I wish he was a straight man in this scenario so that he would have been behind Kayla. You know?
No. Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you, like, I'm saying.
If who were a straight man?
James. Because he would have been behind Kayla instead of trying to get with her ex.
I see. Okay.
So
yeah, he was.
This is the only time that I would rather. I'd rather have a straight man.
Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah. Sorry, I got lost there. I was like, I don't know what straight man you're looking for.
I would pull out my little board like they do for crime investigation. Yeah. Anyways.
The consistent thing with James too is that he was saying that he was manipulated by Evan. It's like, you're 6 years older than him. You are the famous one in this scenario. You are flying him to your home to console him on something that you got information from another young creator. Like, James trying to be the victim, like the manipulated victim in this incident who was just trying to be a good person is bullshit.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to not be the victim.
No. But that is just the overarching, like, concept thought I have on it. But
I'm ready for James's day in court. Nothing's happened to where he's having one right now. But one day that'll be nice to just see that you're not the victim and you can have some consequences. Maybe it'll be sooner than we think and you can go hang out with Evan.
He's just so good at like jumping on to a new audience and like people finding him, because when I saw how many TikTok followers he had, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the hell? But it's all, I think about people like Kayla. She was too young to remember things that he's done in the past.
On Do We Know Them, when they first covered this, before this new stuff came out, when they covered it along, like when we did, they were talking about how like people follow him because they think he's funny, but they were like, he's literally not funny. Like, he's not funny. And then he's also just kind of a little bitch. Like, he will he'll talk shit to people watching him. Somebody will give a critique or something, and he'll respond with a video or in a live and be like, "That's why you're fat and ugly."
Why am I on TikTok? Get off your feed. Block me then, fatty. Not my problem.
And He's disgusting to me.
He's just not the vibe anymore, and I don't understand how people are still like a fan.
Yeah, he's like in the same category as Jeffree Star to me.
Yeah.
Like jail. It's like y'all haven't legally done anything yet, I guess, to deserve jail. That you could be convicted of. It's all alleged. There is stuff, but that you could actually be found guilty with evidence and like proof for in a court of law. But you need jail time. Go. But while we're on the topic of men who are not that great sometimes, we can talk about Justin Bieber this week regarding Hailey being on the cover of Vogue.
Congratulations, by the way, Hailey. Yeah. In case no one said it to you.
That's all we needed to say.
Yeah.
But Justin didn't get that memo. So she was on the cover of Vogue, and Justin, her loving husband, decided to take to Instagram to make a caption about her and her great accomplishments.
Yeah. This is what the caption reads. Yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes. I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected. I thought I got to get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So, baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because clearly I was sadly mistaken.
Not the sadly mistaken.
Yeah, that is almost too good.
It's like the moment that you think maybe he doesn't hate her, it's all, never mind, he does, you know?
And I'm sure she knows him better than we do. She's probably like, I know what you meant by this or whatever, but God.
But I'm like, some things should stay in the drafts and just be told in person. He could say that to her. They live together. Like, they're married. He could just be like, I remember during that fight, I'm so proud of you because I said that and I should have never said that, and look at you now. Like, he should say that to her in person and then just say congratulations.
I'm also like, it's a weird thing to doubt your wife. Mm-hmm. He clearly doubted her like potential.
Yeah, and I'm like wondering, you know, Selena was on the cover of Vogue, so it's like at the time, was it like a fight and he was comparing her to Selena or something and being like, you'll never be on the cover of Vogue?
Yeah,
like,
it's just a weird thing to doubt her. Is it? And you've also dated other girls that were on the cover of Vogue, so like, why couldn't I do it if anyone else could do it? Can I also just say the cover of Vogue? Congratulations, Hailey. But it doesn't mean anything. No. You don't have to have talent.
You have to have connections.
You have to have connections. And
Hailey Bieber has connections.
And be just of the moment. That's what that magazine is about. They're going to put people on the cover, maybe that have done something grand. But has Hailey Bieber changed the world to receive a world-renowned accomplishment? No. But I get why she's on the cover of a magazine.
Because she's relevant and she, you know, is a model.
She's influenced a lot of fashion. I agree with that. But I'm also like, Vogue isn't something that I would never look at you, like a normal person, and be like, you could never do that, because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
If this podcast got big enough, I could see you doing it.
Yeah.
And I just don't, he was with, like, I just don't get it. I just don't.
It just blows my mind. I swear he sets her up. Like, he knew what that was going to do. He had to know that that was not something that everybody was going to be like, that's so nice of him.
No, and I'm like questioning if what I just said to you was mean, because I didn't mean it in a sense.
No, I get it. I'm not like really thinking that I'm going to be on the cover of Vogue.
No, I just got anxiety. I was like, oh my God, that might have been like a bitchy. People in the comments might be like, you're just as bad as Justin. I'm talking about, I'm not saying just you, but like my neighbor. You know what I mean? Like any normal ass person has the potential to do something like that because it involves nothing.
Yeah.
And not that you don't have anything.
I get it. It's okay. We don't have to go around in circles. I understand.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, so this post was something.
These are the posts and the moments where I'm like, I don't know if he's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? There is so much turmoil around your relationship online. Why would you make a post even talking about a fight you've had?
Like, even talking about that you guys argue. Like, that obviously we know that couples argue, right? Like every couple ever has had an argument. But it's like when people like to pick apart your relationship and you and your wife both know this, why would you ever even acknowledge and just act like you've never had an argument in your life with each other?
Me and you have talked about it, and it might have been in the Justin Bieber deep dive that we did last week or another topic, but I saw this girl saying it on TikTok, and a lot of people like showed a lot of support to her video. It's like Justin might be the kind of guy where he cannot stand for the attention to be on the person he's with rather than him because he's such a superstar.
Yeah.
And he has that complex of I'm the star.
And it's been all his life. Like since he was, 13, he's been getting all this attention from being a singer and then a heartthrob and then all this. And so now he can't stand it when somebody's kind of taking the spotlight from him.
So now her Vogue cover is about his reaction and not about her Vogue cover.
Yeah. I definitely could see that being a thing. But after this, Justin has now changed that caption. But Selena posted on Instagram. Okay, she reshared something on Instagram, but also added a caption. And I'll send that to you.
Okay.
What she shared says, "You matter, your voice matters, your heart matters, you are worth so..." Okay, wait, that was like I couldn't read.
It's in cursive, to be fair.
I'm in 7th grade again. "You are worth so much more than you know." And Selena reshared it and then said, "You know who you are, and I'm cheering you on."
Well, thank God Selena supports you, Hailey. And speaking of this, since we started recording, there is a breaking news update. The source is Dumois, so do with it what you will, but I'm going to read it just in case it's true. Selena Gomez allegedly DMs Hailey Bieber. So, an exclusive source told Dumois that allegedly Selena Gomez personally reached out to Hailey on Instagram, and Hailey accidentally opened the message. And Hailey opened it and was like panicking and was like, "Oh crap, what do I say?" Or "I didn't mean to open this." So she allegedly calls in Kylie Jenner, and they sat around their house all day stressing about what to say back or how to handle the scenario to whatever she said.
Do we know what the message said or anything along the lines of what it said? I do know that Selena liked the picture of Hailey's Vogue cover and stuff. And, there's controversy around that because people are like, "Wow, Selena's so nice for doing that." But then people are like, "Yeah, but if Hailey likes anything that Selena does, she's a stalker."
Right.
So
there's no message, but it does say this. The story goes, per Dumois exclusive source, that allegedly Gomez messaged Hailey about the Vogue debacle on Instagram. Hailey may have had a case of Butterfingers because our source indicated that the model accidentally opened it and didn't know whether or not to respond. Our source continued that Hailey was allegedly fielding calls about what to do the whole day, and Kylie Jenner came over to counsel her.
Which, I mean, girlhood. I feel that's very...
relatable.
Yeah, relatable. If we get a scary text of any kind, it's, "Oh my God, so-and-so like messaged me. What do I say? Oh my God." So I could see that.
Yeah, okay. I have a theory because also I put it in our episode notes. With this Vogue cover, Hailey also did a few videos for Vogue, and one of the videos was a "What's in My Bag" video where Hailey, for the first time, like addresses the jokes made about her. And you know what? I actually really liked
So did I.
how she did it. She pulled out of her bag a bunch of phones, and she said that she used them for stalking other girls' accounts, making new Instagram accounts, and like secretly spying on people.
This is my phone. Very straightforward, obviously. These are a couple more that I keep on me, and I really just use them for a lot of the simple stuff, like surfing anonymously, commenting, stalking, viewing girls' pages, making multiple accounts, that kind of thing.
It was good. It was funny.
Yeah, and then she also said that her dad sent her away to a witch whenever she was 12, and they gave her a tincture oil for her that would make a Canadian pop star fall in love with her. And she like takes a drop of the tincture, and she's like, "I still take it every day," whatever.
Okay, so last but not least, this is a little tincture potion that I got. I would say probably when I was around 12, my dad flew me to go meet with this witch who lived in the mountains, and she made this specifically for me. She told me that it would make a young Canadian pop star fall in love with me. So yeah, I've been taking this one for years. Absolutely love it. And yeah, thanks, Dad.
Like, she's addressing it head on. And I'm like, Hailey, that is what you need to do.
Yeah, she's doing what Katy Perry can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Addressing it head on.
And actually, like, having a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, I think it's better to be humorous about yourself. But here's what I think so interesting is, like, when you line up, okay, Hailey Bieber is confident in the fact that she's also said in these interviews with Vogue that, like, she is done trying to make people understand her. She does not care. She's written it off. She's grown. She's got a baby. She's a mom. Like, all these things about her have changed. She can laugh about this stuff. She's been married to this man for 7 years. These stupid online internet people will not shut up. We are a part of it, and I apologize if we've upset you. Jelena. I'm just kidding. But Hailey finally does what I think if she would have done from the beginning, she wouldn't be so hated. If she owned the fact that, and she's not owning the fact that she's a stalker, she's making fun of it. But if you were like, yeah, I'm a fan, whatever, nobody would care. Just don't lie about it. Don't lie. But the moment Hailey shows confidence in what the internet is saying about her, Selena is right there in her DMs, allegedly, or making subtweet Instagram stories that could potentially be about Hailey to make the conversation about Selena again.
Yeah. So honestly, I can see from all of this, I can really, really, really see how Justin and Selena did not work out that well because they both like everything to come back to being about them.
This is why they broke up. We figured it out.
Yeah. Both of them love that and live for that and can't stand when it's not about them or it's not going to be like pivoted back to them.
Yeah.
So I can really see in even just like real life situations as boyfriend and girlfriend when you're doing stuff and you both want to be the center of attention and you can't be all the time, that it can cause friction and fights.
Or even with them, like, their relationship was bigger than both of them individually were. So I think it's weird if Selena's sliding into Hailey's DMs because Justin Bieber made something about her online. It's obviously Justin didn't actually mean that in a harmful way. I think that was his really weird roundabout way of being nice to her.
Yeah.
I think he just doesn't know how.
I don't think he knows how either. I think that he probably, I love Justin Bieber. Okay. I gotta comment on.
You do gotta say that.
Yeah, on Instagram that said about our deep dive thing that we did that I didn't always love Justin Bieber because if I did, I wasn't a believer because I would still be one today and that I was always just a fake fan. So
sure.
Yeah, whatever.
He hasn't released music in how long, but yeah, sure.
I said this comment's gold. Anyways, but I love Justin Bieber. But I think he doesn't know how to be nice to someone else because he suffers from, like, narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah.
And so, like, in his narcissistic way, that was being nice, even though in a normal person's way, that's not nice.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like, Selena, Hailey doesn't need you to reach out to her because Justin was mean to you. That's not your place. Why do you care? Like, whatever. Don't tear women down. That's great that y'all are building each other up or whatever. But this situation, Selena, is not even close to being about you. So if I were to be in that scenario from Hailey Bieber's perspective, I would be so annoyed that Selena...
That you thought you could comment on my relationship. It would almost seem condescending.
Yeah, it's thank you, Selena Gomez, for reaching out to me to let me know that I didn't deserve to be spoken like that publicly. Even though my husband changed it, he probably didn't mean anything by it. And we're going to have dinner in 20 minutes together. Thank you, Selena, for making this about you. I also am like, I don't know if this Dumois article is true because Dumois is whatever it is, but whoever is close enough to Hailey Bieber and Kylie Jenner to be revealing these sources, y'all need to get them out.
Yeah.
Because that's not what you want in the headlines.
No. But also, like, the way that Selena allegedly messaged Hailey, if Hailey would have done that, if Selena and Benny were having issues online, like people were speculating about something, and Hailey were to reach out to Selena, people would think that was weird, and Selena would think that was weird.
They'll be like, "Oh, she's a stalker. She's obsessed with her." It's like,
it's getting a little like ridiculous and one-sided, I feel.
I feel like we've always said or kind of had the perspective that Selena has always been the instigator.
Yes.
And this, if it's true, proves it to me. It's just another example of it anyway.
Yeah. Selena's definitely not as innocent as everybody makes her out to be and thinks that she is.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Selena, her bestie Taylor has been in the news.
Oh my God.
A lot recently because of the drama with Blake Lively.
The week off that we had, every time I opened my phone, I was like, oh my God. I was trying so hard to avoid like pop culture for the week, just to hit a reset whenever I came back and watch and catch up on everything for this episode. And I could not look away. I was like, this is too good. But I'm kind of glad that we waited because I feel like looking back at everything that's happened in hindsight, I have a better understanding of what happened. So obviously the news broke last week that Taylor Swift was officially subpoenaed for the Justin Baldoni Lively It Ends With Us case, whatever. Well, I hate to credit Candace Owens with this information, but she just breaks down the information in a way that I can understand it. She said some things about Kanye West in this week's episode that I don't even want to look like I side with her.
Yeah, I
don't even want to talk about Kanye's stuff.
No, yeah, but she does break it down where you can understand it. So
Yeah.
that's that.
Yeah, so she was discussing how the news was that Taylor Swift was subpoenaed, but those are all public record. You can find them if they're out there. And Taylor Swift wasn't personally subpoenaed to be a part of it. Taylor Swift has basically a law firm that works for her. The company is called Venable LLP. Her group of lawyers or the law firm were subpoenaed, and the messages that were being subpoenaed to be used as evidence were messages between Taylor Swift's lawyer and Blake Lively's lawyer.
Okay.
So
it's not like the personal juicy text that everybody's
Not
making it
yet.
out to be.
Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
They come into it. Well, Blake and Ryan ended up coming back and trying to get rid of that subpoena because I imagine Taylor Swift's team was pretty angry about it. So they filed to have it like removed or whatever you would call that after Taylor Swift's lawyers were like, we don't really need to abide by this. We're not relevant. This is stupid, whatever. So Blake and Ryan filed to have the subpoena thrown out. And then the threat that was made about leaking personal text messages came from Blake's lawyer on the phone with Taylor Swift's lawyer.
On behalf of Blake?
On behalf of Blake. And said that in February of 2024, if Taylor didn't come out and publicly support Lively after she wasn't present at the Super Bowl, they were going to leak personal text messages. And Taylor's lawyer accused them of extortion, ended the phone call. That was over. Well, Brian Friedman, who is Justin Baldoni's lawyer, wrote a letter to the judge that there is evidence in these messages and that Blake asked Taylor to delete text messages. This information from Brian Friedman came from an unknown source that he addressed in the letter to the judge, and he said that he would not reveal the source unless the judge or court requested him to do so. He was going to protect his source. So he has the source that's close to Taylor Swift. That's all that we know. We don't know who, what, but he says he has no problem revealing it if it needed to be revealed in the court case or whatever. Candace Owens has this source herself. She kept saying alleged. It was very prominent that she said that. Her source claims that this person that talked to her said that the person that gave Brian Friedman this information is Scott Swift himself.
Okay.
And the reason that I really believe that is because if Blake Lively and Taylor Swift's personal text messages are being threatened to be leaked, you're not playing a little lighthearted game anymore.
No.
Two girls delusionally texting each other about anything that comes in their brain is not something the world ever needs to see.
No. Like, I would be petrified. We don't even talk about, like, insane stuff together. But, like, even if somebody was like, I'm going to leak all of like our texts between each other, it's just embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. It's every vulnerable thing you can think of being sent to someone. So like them threatening to release Taylor Swift's text messages whenever she has this very specific image that's very tailored, if you will. And it's like, we look at her a certain way. I like looking at her that way.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to know what she says to Blake Lively at 10 p.m. on a Saturday.
No.
So they're now threatening $1 billion enterprise. It's not like they're just threatening a girl.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, thousands of people are employed by her. They're billionaires. So I completely believe that Scott Swift would come out and be like, if you want to threaten me, we'll switch to the other side of the team really fast. And I think it's also known just as like a Swiftie fan, Scott Swift and Taylor Swift do not always see eye to eye.
No.
They're very different. I think he's a pretty conservative man. She's a very liberal woman.
Yeah.
But they're still family. They still work together. So I don't think that that means that Taylor Swift is in there swinging at Blake personally. I think she's the godmother of her children. And I think once this blows over, they'll probably rekindle a friendship in private. Most likely.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
The threatening of the messages is where I'd probably draw a line.
Yeah, that's too far. Like, how could you, if we're besties and you say you care about me and you know that this could hurt me to do that, like, why would you do that? You know, that's. And
the information that Scott Swift gave to, allegedly Scott Swift, gave to Brian Friedman, Justin's lawyer, was saying that Blake had advised Taylor to delete her text messages. Why would someone who has nothing to hide and is not guilty, because they were specifically addressing the case, like the text messages about Justin, about It Ends With Us, about whatever, any of that information.
Also, would deleting the text really do anything?
No.
Because they pull the phone records.
No,
you know?
It wouldn't do anything. But Scott Swift is the one who gave information to Brian Friedman to give to the judge that said Blake was trying to cover her tracks whenever it came to Taylor Swift in case she was subpoenaed by telling her to delete text messages. And there was evidence that Scott had that she had said this. And I guess Brian Friedman was arguing that the relevance of that subpoena is that this information is in there. It's a lot.
Yeah. This whole case is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just, the whole thing, it's like a whole cluster.
It was confirmed today, the day that we're recording this episode, that the subpoena to like calling in Taylor's law firm and the messages between Blake and Taylor's lawyers is completely done, thrown out.
Okay.
So that could be because it was Blake's team initially going after, it may have been Justin's team. I don't know. But Blake and Ryan quickly jumped in there to be like, no, please don't. Don't do that. Don't pull her text messages. Don't whatever. But then she proceeded to threaten her with the personal text message leak. So this is so messy. And
I just don't think, I don't think that I would be friends with someone anymore. Like, if you were
it's
this
just
messy
too much
with me, like, and involved me in this when I wasn't even trying to get involved, and then you were threatening me and all of this, I would realize that we weren't as good of friends as I thought we were. And then I would just have to be what it is.
There's also this element to like seeing this information come out to where Taylor Swift probably did only hear Blake Lively's side of the story, and it's your best friend. Why on earth would you ever doubt her that this stuff happened to you? And it's turned into such a show that it's like, did that happen the way that you said it did? Or were you just trying to like get me on your side, which I would have been anyway. But maybe the scenario just didn't happen the way that Blake initially reported that it did, you know? So there's also that side to it to where, I don't know, it's like...
Yeah, it's just crazy. The whole thing from every point is crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll keep following it and seeing how it ends up and how it all goes.
It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
So we'll see what happens.
So we got a long more time to have to cover this.
Yeah.
So we may be watching a lot more Candace Owens, unfortunately.
Yep.
So last thing that we're going to touch on today is there's some Jojo, Siwa, and Chris Hughes updates.
Okay.
So last time we left off, we were talking about her in the Big Brother house and how she broke up with Kath, and it seemingly was that she broke up with Kath for Chris. And then we saw the interview where Chris was like, yeah, we're just friends.
Friends on real hard.
Friends. Yeah. Like, they were friends on real hard, we thought. But now they spent like a whole week together. There's lots of pictures of them. And
canoodling.
Yeah, it was almost as if Chris hard launched them. So he posted a carousel on Instagram with the caption, "The previous days have been the prettiest." And it's just like a bunch of pictures of him and Jojo.
It was her birthday, and he flew to wherever she was to spend her birthday with her and surprise her.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that.
He was hanging out with Jojo's mom and dad.
This guy, I'm telling you, and I've said it from the beginning, he is using this as clout. I think he is still friend zoned her, and I think he's doing this to have us talking about him.
That's
because who the hell is he?
That's what I was going to speculate on, is that do we think that they are an actual thing, or do we think that they're actually friends? And now at this point, because we know Jojo knows how to keep her name out there and stay relevant, do we think that they're both kind of doing that?
Yeah, I could see Jojo plays into it all. Who is Chris Hughes before Big Brother when Jojo was on the season? I don't know.
No, I don't know who he was.
I think this is them just playing their cards. And you know what? I'd probably be doing it too.
I would be doing it too. And even if I was Jojo and I was friend zoned and I actually did like him, I would still be doing this stuff too, because I'd be like, oh my God, it's like we're dating.
Yeah. Like I can pretend.
Yeah. It's like fake dating trope in books, you know? And yeah, it might have a happy ending, it might not, but they are going to keep pulling it out till we don't want it anymore, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
and we might already be there.
Yeah.
But you know, we're talking about them this week, so they're probably going to break up next week and have
in a dramatic way,
or be spotted with someone new, or
this is going to put Chris Hughes on the map. I think.
Yeah, he's here with us, and as long as he's with Jojo, his engagement is up.
Mm-hmm. And if they have a messy enough breakup, his engagement will skyrocket as well.
Yep.
I mean, look at Kath.
Here's my side of the story.
Yeah. 13-minute TikTok. Oh, but yeah, what's been up this week?
I just got back from Miami. And I have to update on Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Because we've hated on him. I still think he's a flop man overall.
Mm-hmm.
I will also say there's some of his music that I like. The new Tate McRae and Morgan Wallen song has been spinning for me.
Okay. I mean, that's fine if you like a song by him.
It is. And I guess I'm separating the art from the artist. I can't listen to that song, I'm the Problem, because I feel angry when I hear it. But he has a song called Miami that I didn't listen to until I got home from Miami. And I'm like, damn. You know, it's like one of those things where you could just really be living and be like, or like singing it like in your life and like just feel very relevant. But I've been listening to that album, which I felt weird about. I don't know why, but it made me feel like I'm nasty. I do not know why, but it's Gemini season, which is my era.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here for the placement of the moon and the sun or whatever. I don't know anything about horses.
No. We are not. What is it even called?
Zodiac.
We're not Zodiac girlies. We don't
No,
know.
not at all. But
we don't know when the stars align.
I do know when Gemini season starts, because I tell myself that like I'm in a better space whenever it's like this time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in a good mood every day. I'm in a great mood today, and like just it's Gemini season, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I'm here.
Yeah. The stars are aligning for you. I feel it. You know. Yeah. Not much been going on with me, I don't think. What did I even do last? I don't remember these days what's happening. Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing well. We do have a trip to Atlanta coming up.
Oh yes, I'm so excited. I had to put in a work request and that went terribly.
Oh.
So we're seeing the Swiftologist.
Yeah, if you guys know, you know. If you don't know him, you don't know.
Yeah, and so my work is full of people who don't even know who Trisha Paytas or Shane Dawson are. So they definitely don't know who the Swiftologist is. So I had to put in this work request for vacation, and they said, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "You're not going to get it. You're not going to understand."
We have tickets to meet him and his co-host, and I am so freaking excited. There is not a YouTuber or podcaster that I have listened to more in the last 2 years. Like, he plays in my headphones on my TV. Like,
I was trying to explain it. I was like, he's really like analytical and critical, and like he worked in
journalism.
And like we just listen to him. He also has a podcast called Evolution of a Snake, and like it's not just about Taylor Swift anymore. It's like he's a music critic. I was like trying, and they were just looking at me like this.
Yeah,
did not get it at all.
No, it's and honestly, of all the creators I've watched, I feel like on a personality way, like if me and him grew up in the same town, I feel like we would have been best friends.
He would have been the little gay bestie that we want so bad.
Yeah. And
we want one.
Yeah. And it's like he was born in the same year as me, and he's this little gay man from Singapore. I've never seen him in person. He might be 6 feet tall for all I know, but
we're going to see him in person.
I know. I'm so excited, but I'm just like, how could I have so much in common with someone so different from me? But I love that because it's like just internet people. We just grew up chronically online and loving a little fake Southern girl like throughout our whole childhood, and it's magical.
I love the snark. I'm ready to listen to him in person.
Yeah.
And also Madeline. I'm here for her too.
No, she's cool. She's cool.
Yeah.
She's definitely grown on me like throughout their podcast or whatever.
Might even throw a little homage to Madeline and our outfits. You know,
oh yeah.
Makeup.
Oh, yeah.
So
The looks for Atlanta. Did you order your outfit?
No, I got to. I'm gonna do that.
Please do it.
Yeah.
We're leaving in a couple weeks.
So we get a hot topic next week, and then for the week of Atlanta, we have another fun deep dive situation.
Yeah, be sure to watch last week's episode. It wasn't hot topics, but we did a deep dive into the timeline of Justin Bieber's love life.
I had someone tell me that it was really well researched and that they enjoyed it, and I was like, thank you. My stalkerism from back in 2008 really helped out with that. So.
Yep.
Believer for life.
There you go. Unless she isn't a believer now, then she's a fake fan. So.
I was a fake fan always. But yeah.
Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We upload a new video every Monday.
And we will TTYL.
Bye.
She's 21, not a savage, but she got a little bit too